So Florida real estate sellers are experiencing a nightmare scenario right now. We haven't reported on this before, so listen up close here. One of the things happening that is way beyond reasonable expectations, and it is affecting the sellers quite a bit, has to do with how many people are backing out of the contracts that they put together. So think about it like this. You make an offer as a buyer, and then for some reason, you back out. Whether it's an inspection issue, whether you wanted to lock it up and then get a big price reduction, whether the interest rates are a big shocker to you and the payment is much higher than you expected, or maybe you went through and got a quote on your insurance and then it ended up being way higher than you can afford. Well, whatever the reasons are, right now Florida is leading the way in the United States as the worst state for people backing out of contracts. Now, average-wise, the United States is right around 15% of all contracts that go under, homes that go under contract, they fall apart. Now, 15%, that's a little high, but, it's still doable. So guess what Florida is? Unfortunately, it's huge. It's over 20%. And I have experienced this single-handedly with, one of my listings that I have. Priced very well, beautiful home. I mean, it looks spectacular. Not only is it priced right, but it has so many benefits that no other home in the neighborhood has. But for some reason, we have gone under contract and then fallen apart twice. Now, I don't know, I don't get it. Sometimes, it's just the way it goes. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is it people having cold feet? Is it a little bit of a greed factor? Is it maybe there's something wrong with the house? I mean, maybe, that's always possible. But I don't think it's either one of those or any of those. I think it has to do with the affordability problem. I think people got in over their head. They need to buy a home. They make an offer on a home, and then they're surprised when they see what the interest rate is. Not only the interest rate, but how many points you need to pay. And if you don't know what a point is, 1 point is 1% of your loan amount. So in my case, this home is listed at in between $700,000 and $800,000, and let's just say your loan is going to be $650,000. Well, 1 point is $6,500 upfront cost to pay into the loan, and this isn't something to pay down your interest rate, because this is just a fee that you have on top of the loan origination fee, which is about $1,000 to $2,000, on top of the closing costs that you're going to have and the inspections and the appraisal and everything else involved with buying a home. So people are getting cold feet and they're just saying, screw this, I'm out. They back out. Orlando, Jacksonville, and Tampa lead the way with over 20% of people backing out. And it's a little bit, not surprising to me, because those markets had a very large increase in inventory. And that actually is another thing that people might be doing, is they might be going under contract and then backing out because something better came on the market within their contract time frame. If you have a 15-day inspection period, you buy something, you're under contract to buy something, and then the neighbor comes out, which might be bigger, better at the same price, you're going to cancel that contract. You're going to go with this contract, right? You're going to go with this home and try to lock that up. So you're going to lock it up and then cancel that one after, so that you don't sacrifice, what you do have. And the thing is, there's a big double whammy here, because when people back out of contracts, what do you think the next buyers think? Let me tell you, because I did 2 open houses this past weekend on this home that I'm talking about, and they were both long, and I had a pretty decent turnout. And do you know how many people I had saying, hey, what happened to the other contracts? Listen, I didn't tell them that this was under contract and fell out of contract. They came in knowing this information, because buyers nowadays are educated, and these were not represented people. I only had one agent come through the open house, and they didn't come with clients. So I had to explain to them, hey, someone got cold feet. Hey, we got a loan denial letter. I mean, that's literally what happened. Can you get more information? No. Unfortunately, I didn't represent those buyers, so I don't have more information. But the next buyers that are coming through that open house, or maybe looking at this property, they're going to say, what's wrong with the house. They think there's something wrong with it. And that is not the case at all on most of the reasons why things fall apart. And then when things do fall apart, guess what? By law, the seller has to do. They have to disclose anything wrong with the house. So the seller's property disclosure has to be updated with all the new information. Now, are people doing that? You know, in my experience, people don't seem to do that. When I have a buyer that ends up backing out of a contract because an inspection revealed that, you know, maybe the AC is cooling at only 7% differential, should be 15%. That is not working according to how it's designed to work. And they don't update the seller's property disclosure saying that the AC is not working as, you know, designed. They're not doing that. If there's like a crack in the foundation, then probably, yeah. If there was mold detected, then they're going to try to remedy it and then not disclose. I mean, it's ridiculous what people do. And I don't blame them, but I do say, like, don't be dumb. We got laws, and you can get not only sued, but in some instances, you can get arrested for non-proper disclosure, especially when somebody ends up getting hurt out of it. And by the way, this data that I reported on, this is from June 2024. This is just last month, right? So in June 2024, we had 21% of people backing out in these metro areas that I mentioned, and 15% nationwide. This isn't old data, but this is fresh data that just came out. But now prices are not really changing that much either. So think about the buyers who are out shopping with this high interest rate, and they are just thinking, oh, well, prices are going to go down sometime soon. I just can't believe it. But prices have not fallen. Literally, we are at a high right now. In June 2024, Redfin reported that the median sales price is $442,000 nationwide. Now, there is a little bit of good news, and that is that the average rate that people are getting right now is about 6.7%. Now, I haven't had any of my clients get a 6.7%, but that is pretty damn good right now. However, as of today, where we might be getting a report which might cause our rates to fall. This is a little unexpected. I wasn't expecting it, at least. But if we have a good report today, and it is Tuesday today, then hopefully we're going to have a good, expectation of the economy. And that means that banks are going to immediately slash the rates. Even though the Fed has not slashed the rates, the banks are going to be expecting rates to get cut. So what are they going to do? They're going to get ahead of all the other competition they have, all the other banks, and they're going to cut rates for home mortgages, not like 3% or anything, but they might cut it, quarter point or maybe half of a percentage point. And then next thing you know, people are getting not 6.7, but 6.2 interest rates, right? Maybe even 6 if you pay a little bit of points. Now, would you buy a house at 6% if you could? I mean, would you do that right now? Because I know a lot of people who are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the 5.5%. That is like that thing. So what interest rate are you waiting for? If you're waiting for an interest rate before you go buy, whether it's an investment or a primary occupancy, what rate would you decide to do something? And this article then further says that the prices in Florida are dropping because of the amount of inventory we have hitting the market. And yes, like some areas just a little bit south of where I live in Sarasota, and about an hour south of us, 45 minutes south of us in Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda and in Cape Coral, inventory almost doubled. I mean, crazy in 1 year, right? So usually you would think like, hey, prices are gonna completely drop if that happens. Well, for some reason, they haven't. Although Redfin is reporting that they have. But I'm telling you, I track these things and prices have not fallen. They have not dropped. They have not changed much. But the affordability has gotten worse because obviously a year ago we had slightly lower interest rates. But just maybe, just maybe, I'm excited because we might actually get that interest rate cut this week. And if we get that, oh man, this is really going to help so many homeowners, and it's going to allow a lot of homeowners who have locked in to a higher interest rate in the last 6 months to possibly refinance and save hundreds of dollars on their monthly payment. That's exciting to me because people are suffering, people are losing their jobs, people are getting gig economy jobs to make up for the loss of the real good job that they had. So now, do you think something good is going to happen? You know, there's a lot of signs that no, nothing good is going to happen. And a part of me, you know, unfortunately, a part of me says, whatever good happens, it's going to be short-lived, okay? And deep down inside, I'm not seeing enough data out there that's going to make me think that we're heading for a really, really good real estate market in the next year. However, I have been wrong before, and I don't predict the future. I don't know truly. I'm just looking at all the data, and right now the data is saying there's a lot of uncertainty with the election. There's a lot of uncertainty with wars. There's a lot of uncertainty with where the economy is going and the jobs market. The jobs market is definitely suffering, although the reports are not showing that, but the people are saying that. The people out there working, they are not getting promotions at the same rate and job, you know, and payment increases at the same rate that everything that they're buying is going up. So we're seeing a lot of bad news out there. And Florida is no exception with real estate because obviously we have our insurance problem, we have our taxes. Whenever you buy a home, you know, and someone had it homesteaded, the taxes skyrocket, and now you're dealing with the interest rate being high, and possibly that might go down. So that would be a good thing for the home prices in Florida. But at the end of the day, let me ask you, what do you think? What would it take for you to buy a home?